So what am I going to ramble about today? America. It's so open. That's what I've heard from a lot of students. Living in China, living in Vietnam, I've heard from so many students over the years. You Americans are so open. You're so open. Americans are so open. Eh, really? I, I think we talk an open game. Americans are loud. They talk a big game. They're not afraid of sharing their opinions. They will talk a lot of smack. So I think because we're so loud that people have this idea that we are so open. But to be very honest with you, in my experience, Australians, Irish people, British people, the people I work with from other countries tend to be a lot more open than Americans. You look at, for example, gay marriage. Well, I think the Irish were ahead of us on that. You talk about openness towards sexuality. Australians, in my experience, the ones I've worked with at least, tend to talk a lot more openly. Same with the British people compared to the Americans I know. Maybe that's just where I come from in America. I come from the deep South. But I feel like we have that reputation just because we're big mouths, you know? Whereas maybe the Australians, the British people, the Irish, they're not as look at us, let's talk a big game, and they just do it. So I feel like they're more open than we are, to be very honest with you. So I think it's just one of those things where we get that reputation just because we don't shut up and we talk a big game. Um, that's been something I've heard for so many years from my students, this impression of Americans. And I guess it also comes down to our media is so prevalent everywhere. You know, everywhere you go, you see Hollywood movies. And of course, movies tend to reflect a certain subsect of society. Movies tend to be produced by people who do lean more towards an open side, I think, in general. So, of course, that might reflect more of an openness in society that may not be the norm throughout all of society. So I think the norm throughout American society is not as open as people believe it is. There are certainly people who are very open in America, but there's certainly people who are incredibly traditional in America. And I think the average person is a blending of the two. So if you're looking at the average American versus the average person from Ireland, England, Australia, I'm not sure that we are more open. I would actually lean towards maybe Australians being a bit more open than us, Irish being a bit more open than us, Thai people definitely being a bit more open than us. From my time in Thailand, I was very impressed by them. Love Thailand, great people, wonderful people. So sad I could only live there for 6 months, but great experience. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I think Americans, they get that rap of being open, and I get why we have that reputation, but again, I don't think it's an accurate reputation. Anyway, that's my ramble today. Have a great day.